to be a little bit of difference with the timers here. We're not getting great audio. Unfortunately, I can't switch to PerOculos' audio here, so we might be working in silence because we're getting a bit of a frame rate issue from Nevan over on the left. These first few chambers are not horribly interesting. You're pretty much just doing the intended route. There's not a whole lot of different things you can do with these because you don't have access to a portal gun yet. So you're just going to see PerOculos just jumping through these puzzles, solving them exactly the way you would in a casual playthrough. Yeah, but one thing you can notice right away is that the elevators are faster and they fade out immediately. And actually, PerOculos might be running an older version of the mod because normally the elevators won't really fade out. You'll just kind of jump right to the loading screen, and it doesn't look like that's happening. So he might have a slightly outdated version, but it's not a huge deal. He will definitely lose a couple seconds to that though. Same with this. He performs this touch chamber quite quickly, but you can see that it is really just the intended solution done fast. So nothing too interesting has happened yet. The routes will get exciting though, that's for sure. This is the first sort of variation where he's going to place a portal underneath that cube, and it's going to fling onto the button. It misses. That usually works quite well. Sometimes you get a little unlucky there. And then here he's actually going to push a cube through the door. All right, there we go. He pushes the cube through the door, placing the portal next to the door messes with the collision that objects have with it, and it's possible to push the cube through the door. And then once the cube is through the door, it'll fizzle and open the door because the chamber believes you've been trapped. Hopefully we can get a better frame rate on Nevan's stream because I'm curious to see how close they are. There you can see PerOculos uses a portal stand, and we'll see this again in the next chamber where he's gonna stand just outside of a portal and shoot the opposite portal and push back through it, so you can it's really just to move around a little bit faster. You can see there he does it again rather than doing the flame part of the puzzle. And then he uses some creative portal placing to get the cube faster. There's nothing technically complicated about how that's done. Here PerOculos is going for a button glitch. There is a setup to this glitch. He doesn't use it though. It works out fine for him, where he if he activates the button for exactly one tick, then the door will stay open, and so he doesn't actually have to get the cube for that puzzle if he can do that. Not all buttons are capable of having this glitch performed on them, so we won't be seeing this trick very often throughout the run. That might be the only time we see it. And this map also, if you might remember, has a long cutscene with a Wheatley where he wants to fall off his rail but is scared to, and that's completely cut out of this mod. It uses up a lot of time, and there's creative ways that speedrunners have found to get around it in full game, but here we don't have to worry about it. PerOculos on another map that's pretty cutscene heavy. It's really just bunny hopping on this map. Once you get to this part, you fall directly into the incinerator because we don't want to have to wait through the several minutes of cutscene that would normally be there. And same with this drop out of incinerator. PerOculos trying for a fancy launch there. He misses it though. It is a dangerous thing to do, but with the speedrun mod, you can fall into that room in a more favorable location than you normally would. And here he's just going to use portal standing or to get around the incinerator map faster. There's nothing too dramatic about how this is done. One thing also, PerOculos, as you can see, his live split timer doesn't look like it started, but if you look on the left of his gameplay, there is a timer there. The minutes are a little bit cut out, so I don't know how great of an idea we're going to get, but his race is being timed, and you can see part of the timer. So that should work out okay. It does look like Nevan is behind a good amount. I can't exactly tell why, because we're not really getting enough frames from him to commentate on the race, but it looks like he's on wake up. It is hard to tell though, because we were not really getting frames out of him there. Okay, PerOculos going into dual laser, and here we're going to use the laser switch glitch. This is something that's used in a couple places throughout the run, where he basically takes the laser that's activating one of the laser nodes and switches it so it's activating the other one while pushing up against the door. And if he does that, they'll both be activated very briefly, and the door will open up as long as he's pushing up against it. So he doesn't need to use the deflector cube or anything like that to complete the puzzle. Okay, so here he's going to do a difficult trick. He makes it first try. That's well done. So the glitch there, and we're going to see this used more, probably in a couple chambers, is called a reportal. Oh, and we're getting audio again from Nevan. We're getting some frames from him. Nevan taking a safer route on laser overview there. It's basically the intended route is what he's done there. Pretty fail-proof. It is a difficult chamber to do more advanced routes on. Anyway, as I was saying, the reportal glitch, which we're going to see very shortly, and right now they're both on these maps that don't have super technical aspects to them, but the reportal, if you stand outside of a portal, just on the side of a portal, where you're still kind of partially inside the portal, partially on one side of the portal, it's, you're in a weird spot. If you shoot a portal while you're in there, the portal will push you out, so just to prevent some exploits that would be possible if they didn't do that. But in doing this, it gives you 200 velocity of extra speed, and this can be abused by speedrunners to get flings that would normally not be possible. We're probably going to see a good example of this here from PerOculos. Yeah. So you can see he does these really well-timed portal shots on the wall to gain height every time he flames. He misses that last one, but he can use this to get to the exit without completing any of the puzzle. All right. So Nevan now, yeah, Nevan's about a chamber behind. It's definitely something that can be made up, especially because I don't think PerOculos is going to use any newer routes. There have been some developments made in routes, and nothing huge, but there have been some developments made in the last couple months that PerOculos likely won't use, because I'm not sure how much he's been following the community. But it looks like Nevan hasn't used anything yet either. There is another route on pit flames that you could use that he elected not to. But a lot of people have been using this other route, so it's surprising to see him not do it. You can see PerOculos going to go for a reportal and getting it to flame himself up there, which normally he wouldn't have enough momentum to do. We got Nevan now on Fizzler intro. He's taking a safer route than what PerOculos did. He's going to get up there so he can shoot the laser over to the laser node. Got PerOculos on Ricochet. Tried using a reportal to get over there, and he missed it, but he recovers it nicely. And it looks like he sort of gets confused about his route there, which I guess I expect, because I don't know if he's run the game very much recently. But he was very good. I mean, he was really one of the best when he was playing actively, so you'd expect him to still do quite well, even if he's a little rusty. And he misses that. What he was going for there is he was trying to send the cube in front of the laser very briefly. Oh, wow. He almost does that. He was trying to very briefly send the cube in front of the laser so that the panels would flame. But he's going for a cube drop now, which I've never actually seen anyone go for this. I'm not sure. I mean, this could be the sort of time loss that Nevan needs to catch up, because he is only one chamber behind, and this is an unreasonably difficult trick it looks like that PerOculos is going for. It looks like he's decided to not go for it. Actually, an important thing to note is we allow saving and loading in this run, but only for performing or for attempting tricks again or loading back states that you've already been in. You can't use it to accomplish glitches that would not be possible otherwise. And so there's a relatively strict rule set with how that is, but that wasn't always the case. Saving and loading used to not be allowed at all in runs, and they were purely single segment speed runs. And this was the case when PerOculos was running, and so you can tell he's probably not going to be as used to loading saves as Nevan might be. That's something that's become a huge deal recently. Timer skip, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can still see it. We're going to be in trouble with PerOculos' timer in a second there. There he uses another reportal to clear that. That's a tough fling, but it's something, if you get the muscle memory in, it can absolutely be done. Reportals in general have really tight timing, but speedrunners, you get used to the timing and it's not so bad. PerOculos here is mostly just going to do the intended route just really quickly. There's nothing too crazy. He does shoot over that part there to get to the end of the chamber a little bit more quickly, but nothing dramatically different about PerOculos' route there. I'm not sure what happened to Nevan. I feel like he's more behind than he was last we checked, but we lose a lot of frames from him. Here PerOculos is using laser switch glitch again. He's messing it up a little bit, but it's not terrible. Ooh. This is an awkward lineup on this chamber to get the switch glitch, but yeah, pushing up against the door, it just will open right up. He doesn't have audio. No, we are going to have to use Nevan's audio for this. Or at least it's not... SpeedGaming has a flag does not usable audio. I don't know if his stream audio is actually there. Nevan getting that reportal trick first try as well. PerOculos, I missed it, but he does use the turret to boost himself. And I'm sure we'll see Nevan do that route as well, because there's not really much alternative at that chamber. PerOculos now on Laser V Turret, one of the only maps in the game where you just do the intended route completely. So he's just going to be doing that. Nevan choosing to kill one of the turrets in order to make that route a little bit safer. PerOculos did it without killing any, which is obviously the fastest way to do it, but it is dangerous, because they will be shooting you while you're in that section of the chamber. Ooh. And Nevan having a little bit of an awkward time with the switch glitch, but not too bad. Alright, we're going to see if this works for PerOculos, and it worked out fine. That was a questionable looking cube placement, but it worked out okay. Nevan, you see here entering turret blocker. He's going to use the... Ooh. He got a bad launch off that turret. The audio actually does seem to be a little bit off. Hopefully that'll get fixed, because yeah, that is a little annoying. PerOculos, I think he used a reportal to clear that. That's normally what runners would do. I was paying attention to the audio issue just now, but hopefully that gets resolved. Alright, getting another freeze up from Nevan. PerOculos now here. He's using a riskier strat on laser chaining here. He's going to be lining up that cube in advance. Ooh. Alright. Yeah, Can't Even does the same route on this chamber. And Can't Even's world record holder is why I bring it up. Oh, that's why it's risky, is because if you line it up slightly wrong, it's very easy for that to mess up, and it's tough to recover. But he recovers it very well with that strafe onto that platform there. All right, and so PerOculos going on into triple laser, which is the last test chamber of this section of the game before we go into the escape sequences. And he's going to use a triple version of the laser switch glitch by oscillating that cube around the laser nodes. Oh, and we're getting frames from Nevan again. And he's on laser B turret. We'll see if PerOculos goes for a fast route here. Looks like he's going to. Oh, he misses it. He tries to trigger the lights turning off, and then use portals to quickly get over to the other side of the room. But it's very difficult because when the lights turn off, your portals will fizzle, so you have to replace them very fast. It's a tough trick to pull off. And he's probably going to go for a hop over the railing here, which he misses. When you jump onto angled surfaces from a decent height, you can get a boost forward, and that is helpful for getting over that railing instead of going around, but you can miss it. You can get over that railing without the boost, but it's trickier. It's less consistent. All right. PerOculos just misses that. There is an invisible wall there, and so you can't actually just. It's not as free of a jump as it looks. You do have to jump over the abyss in order to make that, and yeah, he chokes there a little bit, but doesn't lose too much time. He's got a decent lead on Nevan at this point. Nevan's just starting chapter 4 now. But it is worth noting that PerOculos' timer is somehow like over 3 minutes ahead of Nevan, so it's actually hard to tell how far ahead PerOculos really is. I think he's probably still ahead because he's been running. It feels like he's been running a little bit better than Nevan. But yeah, there's a serious sync issue there, so I'll just point that out. PerOculos is not as far ahead of Nevan as it looks. Yeah, PerOculos here on the first map of Chapter 5, Turret Factory. He finished laser chaining at... Okay. So PerOculos, yeah, probably going to end up being about 20, 30 seconds ahead of Nevan here. Probably closer to 20. Yeah, this map PerOculos is on, Turret Factory, is mostly bunny hopping. Couple portal shots in there, but nothing seriously dramatic with speedrunning. Oh, he goes for a tough hop there and misses that. We'll see if he does it again. Ooh. He had a save that was back there. Once again, he's not going to be too used to loading and saving, so we're saving and loading. So you're going to see a lot of time loss because of that. We do allow for you to turn on something that resembles Fulbright in this section of the game that PerOculos is on because of how dark it is, but it looks like he's elected not to do that. Oops. Sorry about the microphone. Alright, Nevan's starting the escape sequences, but yeah, this section is mostly hopping, and same with the part PerOculos is on, is hopping. He uses a reportal there to gain a little bit extra speed. Alright, Nevan getting over the fence, but in a slower way than optimal, but still faster than going all the way around like PerOculos had to. Alright, let's see. And he gets it. There is a strategy here on the map PerOculos is here, turret sabotage, that doesn't require you to get a turret. Here he's using a portal bump to bump the portal, basically, quite literally into that room and place the turret on. There would normally then be a long line of dialogue. You'd have to wait for that door to open, but that's skipped in speedrun mod. And I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure if PerOculos is familiar with the lineups for Pancake Shot. I'm not sure when he stopped paying attention or if he ever did. We'll see if Nevan goes for it. There is a way you can shoot through the top of these behind the scenes doors, like one that PerOculos is going through there. And using this, you can skip having to get a defective turret in that part that PerOculos was on. That's really the only use it has in speedrun mod. There's other uses to skip cutscenes in full game, but he didn't do it. But it's very possible he chose not to do it because he got such a good cycle in that map where he was able to get a defective turret so quickly, and so it doesn't really save as much time to do. All right. And so PerOculos just finishing out Neurotoxin Sabotage. There's a lot more panels there in this version of the speedrun mod, so that the map is a little bit less heavily cycle-based. Ooh, okay. Nevan almost fallen into the pit there, but avoids it. PerOculos on core now. You can see that this map has a very, very different atmosphere than it did in full game because every single thing that would require you to wait has been cut, which is most of the map. The map is mostly revolving around the story of the game and everything, and so there's not a whole lot of actual gameplay in here, and the map's done very fast, where normally it would take several minutes to complete that map just because of cutscenes. So we'll see what route Nevan goes for here. PerOculos entering Chapter 6. Nevan goes right by the turrets, so we're going to see him do the pancake shot. It's an incredibly precise shot, and this is something that we didn't know about until... Well, it's not too recently, but not until, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago. I'm trying to remember when it was discovered. I think it was a year ago. Not positive. Anyway, you can see Nevan here. Okay, all right, and he gets that without too much problem. PerOculos just finishing out underground here. There's nothing too technically difficult about this chamber. Whoop. Barky portal there a little bit, but not too bad. All right. So I'm not gonna introduce Cave Johnson as one of the hardest maps in the game, like commentators love to do in this tournament, because I disagree. I don't think it's one of the hardest maps in the game. But it is a tricky one, and it's definitely one that's easy to lose a lot of time on. You can see PerOculos going for this here, where you're able to shoot the large portal surface that is around that corner. It's very tough. It looks like he gets it there, and so he's able to then go there and use a portal stand to get on top of the elevator. Here he uses a reportal in conjunction with a scripted momentum glitch. Basically, the game feeds you exactly the amount of momentum you need to get to the catwalk on the other side of this flame. Just so you don't have players accidentally missing the flame when they should have been able to get it. And so this, so PerOculos can trick the game into giving him that momentum, and then he uses reportal to get just enough extra momentum that he can bounce off the pipe and go to the exit like you saw him do there. All right, let's see what PerOculos does for this map. Going for this button glitch. So he's having a little bit of trouble. It's the same button glitch that we saw in Future Starter in Chapter 1, where he activates the button for a tick and is able to leave the door open that way. Ooh, he looks like he's going to go for Q-Clip Senior here, and he gets it first try. Oh my goodness. That's a tough trick. It's almost, I think it's somewhat tick dependent too, so you had to get a little bit lucky to just get that right away. But yeah, he's able to take advantage of the way he interacts with the object and the forgiving collision that portals have in walls out of necessity to basically glitch right into the second layer of that chamber there. That's crazy, he got that first try. Normally it would take, you'd expect it to take around 2 or 3 at least. And he gets that hop, no problem. Nevan just going into Cave Johnson. By the way, I do think that Repulsion intro is harder than Cave Johnson. That's my unpopular opinion. So everyone loses time on Repulsion intro, but not everyone loses time on Cave Johnson. Think about it. Anyway, PerOculos finishing bomb planes there. It's I mean, there's nothing horribly technically difficult about that route. It's just, you know, being fast, really. Nevan getting that shot from a stand is possible, but you have to be standing at a pretty particular spot in order to do it. It's a shame the audio is not synced up properly. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully we see that get resolved. Alright, PerOculos opting not to do the stuck launch strat on this map, which I expected because I don't know how lot of people have been doing that strat for. He's able to take advantage of extending his hitbox by uncrouching, or his crouch hitbox, I think, in order to break the glass and crazy box there. See what Nevan does for Repulsion Intro, because there really are quite a few routes you can do, and PerOculos definitely did one of the less popular ones because of how inconsistent it is for most people. So he'll probably do something different here. All right. So yeah, he opts not to use the cube to clip through, because there is another version of the clip PerOculos did that's way easier that will clip you into the bottom portion of this chamber, which is still faster. But you need to be able to carry the cube from the previous chamber, which requires that you, well, in order to save time, it basically requires you get the button save. PerOculos on Propulsion Intro, and he gets that reportal without a problem. There is a shot you can do to basically shoot right to the end of the chamber. I missed it there, but I'm sure we'll see Nevan do it, because there's not really an alternative fast route that doesn't involve that shot. PerOculos here going to spam jump as he glides up this ramp to stack a lot of repulsion gel bounces on top of each other and fling himself directly to the exit there. All right, so PerOculos on one of the longer maps of the game now, Conversion and Intro. There was a new route discovered on this maybe a month or two ago that lets you skip the Conversion gel test chamber entirely, but I highly doubt he's going to do it because it's something that many runners do, and it's a very new strat. And yeah, it looks like he's not going to go for it there. We haven't actually seen anyone do a super reportal, which is a shame, because super reportals are really fun to watch, but we weren't super reportals without save loading abusing is a pretty recent discovery, and so it's unlikely PerOculos will use it. So we'll see if Nevan does, but he didn't at some of the easier spots in the game to use a super reportal, so I don't think he's going to. PerOculos, I'm assuming, I was watching Nevan's screen there, but I'm assuming PerOculos used another reportal in order to get himself up to that ledge at the end of the chamber. All right. Oh, we got a freeze from Nevan again. Hopefully that recovers itself. Oh, okay. We're in good shape. All right, so PerOculos is going to definitely go for a stuck launch here. Oh, he's going for the older version of it, though. Basically, you know, you get stuck between two objects where you can't actually go down, but the game increases your velocity anyway because it thinks you're falling and it's accelerating you. And so when you eventually release yourself from the stuck position, you're going down ridiculously fast, and the blue gel then can bounce you very high, as you saw PerOculos do there to skip the entire 3 gels portion of the puzzle. Nevan gets that shot where he shoots from the beginning of this test chamber to the end of the next one. He goes for a safer method of using it, though. Without the reportal, he just does a flame there. All right, PerOculos going into Chapter 8 now as Nevan enters Propulsion Flames. And yeah, Nevan's going to use the same route that PerOculos did here, where he spams jump in and stacks all the repulsion gel bounces on top of each other. Looks like he misses it there. You have to go up the ramp at a pretty particular angle in order to make it work, otherwise you're not going to get it. And so that's what the lineup is for. PerOculos is going for a cube throw here. Normally there is a cutscene in this room that you can skip with that cube throw, but in Speedrun mod, the cutscene's cut out, so the cube throw only saves about a second. All right. Nice. So Nevan going on through conversion intro. And PerOculos now is he's going into funnel intro, which is the first map that we see these excursion funnels. And you're able to basically trick the game into believing that one of your hitboxes is flying. It should be flying by crouching and uncrouching, or not uncrouching. There's several ways you can do it, but by changing your crouch state while in the funnel and while you're not moving, you can trick the game into believing you're still in the funnel. And through this, you can get into a fly state. And so you can see PerOculos here going into ceiling button. He's actually just going to jump, and he's going to float right over to the button and go grab the cube. There's a bit of a misconception, I think, with this, that it's like no clip, and it's really not. It's actually not easy to control. You have no vertical control. You can see PerOculos isn't bunny hopping anymore, because if he were to jump, he would never go back down. He would just go up. And so he can't actually bunny hop unless he intends to go up without stopping. And once you're going up, you can't go back down. There's nothing you can do. It's also really easy to lose control. If you go over 300 velocity, then you're going to just get locked in the direction you're going, and you're not going to be able to stop. And so there's a lot of ways you can lose time while on fly. And because of this, it's often not always faster to have the fly glitch. And you're going to see here, we're actually going to lose the fly glitch in this next chamber that PerOculos is on, because the next couple maps, it just isn't beneficial. It also would be very difficult to complete this map with fly glitch, just because you would need to find some geometry in the room to get yourself onto the exit platform properly. Ooh, Nevan gets a bad angle there, but works out okay. He recovers it fine. Nevan also doing tube bounce, which PerOculos did. This tube here is bouncy. I'm not sure exactly why. This is the tube that's supposed to be carrying blue gel. It's possible that the developers just put this in as a fun feature. I honestly have no idea. Maybe someone in the chat knows why it's bouncy. But we can use that to bounce between the two pipes and get up to the top of that chamber. PerOculos grabbing that cube out of midair. And actually, we missed a great shot there. Finished 3 gels at... Okay. So Nevan's about 1:20 behind. Thank you, chat, for keeping track. Does it? I no-clipped into it. I didn't see blue in the tube. Anyway. Alright, PerOculos is now going to pick up his fly glitch again. And it's actually faster to do this chamber in a different way, which uses the fly glitch, but then you have to get rid of it because you need to be able to get onto the exit platform easily. PerOculos does this alternative strategy that most runners will do, which is slower, but it preserves the fly glitch into the next map. And this next map is dramatically easier when you have access to the fly glitch. And so in the long run, it does turn out to be worth doing, because this map also is quite a bit faster with fly. Nevan grabbing his fly glitch for the first time on funnel intro. So PerOculos not going into this section. The funnel here is sped up a lot due to Speedrun mod, and so... Ooh, and PerOculos goes for a trick called Chocolate Milkshake, where he leaves the funnel and actually jumps into the exit, but as you can see, he's blind, and he misses it there. You can't see, there's a trigger that fades your vision to black there because it thinks you died, but if you know how to navigate the space, then you can still get to the exit there, and he gets it that time. There's a version of that trick that you don't go permanently blind, but that's a little bit tighter to get. Okay, so PerOculos now going for this flame. This has killed many runs, but it's not terrible. All right, yeah, it was very close, but he gets it there. And actually, something I think I'll point out there is something that the runners have used occasionally. I haven't really mentioned it. Is something that called portal funneling, or I guess a lack thereof. The game by default will pull you into portals that you're falling into, so that you don't just miss them by a little bit. It's just to make the gameplay experience less frustrating. But by turning this off, which you can do with console commands, and we allow you to use binds to do this more easily, you can fly out of portals at some wacky angles, and this has been used at a couple points in the run that have made flames possible that would normally be either not possible or extraordinarily difficult to do. Let's go into chapter 9 here. Yeah, the route actually splits off here pretty heavily from your full game. If you've ever seen a speedrun of traditional Portal 2, you'll know that normally the runner will just fly through this section of the game that PerOculos is on. But with the speedrun mode speeding up that funnel so much, it actually makes it a lot faster to just take the funnel. So this is one of the situations where the route is actually different. But it's still beneficial to have fly later in chapter 9, and so he's going to pick it up here in finale 2. Oh, I missed a great shot again on Nevan's screen. Well, I guess we'll probably see that next race, and hopefully I won't keep missing. Great shot. Yeah, so there, PerOculos is going to pick up fly. I guess I'll say great shot on the map right before the one Nevan's on. You might have seen it be performed. I just missed it both times because I was paying attention to the other runner. But it's possible to shoot a portal onto a grate that doesn't seem like you should be able to shoot a portal onto. All right, PerOculos didn't successfully get the fly and had a pretty unfortunate save there. He's going to have to redo a lot of stuff. We'll see him go for this. Nevan picking up fly now in a laser catapult. All right, looks like he got fly that time, and there we go. Okay, so PerOculos floating over to this catwalk here. There is a section with Wheatley trying to smash you in a funnel. But after that section, you just go back into this room on that catwalk, so you can skip it entirely by flying right over there. Oh, PerOculos misses. He goes for a safer route here, which is, I think, advisable. Where he doesn't have to fly in front of the turrets. We'll see if Nevan goes for that route. It's definitely tougher on speedrun mod to fly in front of the turrets because you can't actually crouch. Normally, crouching would make that trick a good bit easier, but crouching removes your funnel fly if you're on the same map that you got the funnel fly on. It's a weird trick, but so you can't actually crouch there like you'd normally be able to in a full game run. It makes it a little bit harder to get past the turrets. You see those other routes become more popular. Here you can see PerOculos, yeah, just floating along through finale 3. Most of the fly glitch routes are just finding creative ways to get around the chamber by using geometry and portal surfaces that are at the right level to get around. Nevan going for a safer route on propulsion catch. That actually is the route you'd use on full game because you need to get a certain dialogue trigger in full game, but we can ignore dialogue triggers in the speedrun mod, so it isn't the fastest way to do the speedrun mod route. PerOculos on the boss fight. We'll see if he does bomb preserve. It doesn't really save very much time on speedrun. Oh, it looks like he's going to. So after Wheatley hits himself with the first bomb, PerOculos places a portal there so that the bombs will actually just flame infinitely through his portals so that he can use it again on the next phase and not have to wait for Wheatley to start throwing another set of bombs. But he waited a while to get Wheatley with that, so he didn't really save time by doing it. Cool trick nonetheless. Yeah, the time in between Wheatley's phases is shortened drastically on speedrun mod, though. You'll see he starts shooting bombs at you way faster than he normally would. Oh, looks like he might have forgotten to turn portal funneling back on, so he missed that portal. Nevan playing it a little bit safe on finale 1 here. Yeah, it looks like Nevan is pretty dramatically behind his personal best here. I don't know what his personal best is. I think it's a 37 something. Oh. Okay. It looks like PerOculos got a... I can't tell what that is. Is that a 36-15? Here, let me... All right. So PerOculos takes the dub. Yeah. Yeah, so PerOculos wins. This PerOculos had a 36-59 is what it looked like. Nevan hasn't actually reached that time on stream yet, but I guess I'll spoil it a little bit. He does not finish the game in 1 minute from here. Okay. Let me... yeah. Give PerOculos 1 score there. Piano time. No, PerOculos' audio is not usable. So we're going to have to wait for Nevan to finish before we can get... Oh, I guess it's not really a piano. I don't know what you're talking about. Never mind. I was thinking of a recorder. The credits music, though, is phenomenal. Oh, it looks like we're not going to do a game 2. Yeah, we're going to do a... So we're going to call a mercy rule on this. Nevan's decided that he will forfeit the second game. Okay. I guess we can wait for Nevan's run to finish on stream here. And then we'll... Yeah. All right. Yeah, so Nevan doing similar routes that you saw PerOculos do. And I actually didn't see if PerOculos got the early moon shot. We're going to see. It is possible to shoot the moon from the bomb room here, and he misses it. It's a tight shot to make, but you can do it, and it saves about 8 seconds on Speedrun mod. He gets a 38.07. So he ends up about just over a minute behind PerOculos. Yeah, not a terrible race. It seemed like it was relatively close for the first few chapters, but it was hard to tell because of Nevan's frames. Okay. Let's get them in here for a post-match interview. It's silent. The credits there, the credit music is silent. I'll tell you guys, if you haven't heard it, it's amazing. You guys should check it out sometime. All right. I'll mark PerOculos a winner again, I guess, for the next round. Okay. See if they'll join me in a second here.
Hey.
Hi. So, how was that race? How did you feel about that?
Well, the race in itself wasn't that bad. Probably the best time I got today, I think.
All right. Well, that's
But,
always good.
Yeah, but I know that even if I PB'd, Pero just would be faster than me, so I don't really see the point of game 2. And
Yeah,
I
well,
think
it
I'll be much more comfortable in loser bracket now.
I mean, it actually looked kind of close for the first couple chapters. It was hard to tell because we were getting a lot of frame drops on your stream.
Yeah, I know.
But it looked
kind
like
of terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like it was relatively close, especially after PerOculos went for the Q pops on Ricochet.
Oh, yeah.
PerOculos, how did you feel about that run?
I haven't done a real run in a while, so I was pretty.
Yeah.
I really didn't expect to get Laser Over Goo first try, but
I was amazed you got the Cube Clip Senior first try. That was
really nice.
Yeah. yeah.
Really cool, man.
Ace Repulsion intro there. That was really nice.
I think I was just frustrated that I didn't get the button glitch.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean it was
I don't get that ever. That was insane.
Yeah, I know, that was great. Well, I think it's somewhat tick dependent too, so it was really lucky you got that there. Yeah, it was fun. I was interested to see what routes you were going to use though, because I know you haven't been following so closely, and there's been a lot of route discoveries over the last month or two that some people have decided to use.
Yeah, so I haven't seen much except for all the Crucio videos and something that like MCushi just posted him getting the world record for a little bit. He cucked what's his name? Can't even.
Yeah, Can't even did take it back very quickly.
But I only saw one strat that he did, and that was Incinerator, and that was pretty good. Like the hitting the last beam on the fall to get all the way past all that rubble, so you can continue.
Yeah, some of the more dramatic changes have been that we found a way to do super reportals without save loading. So there have been some super reportal routes on Pit Flames, Laser Over Goo.
Oh yeah, I need to learn that. Intended on Laser Over Goo is really sad.
Not everyone does them because they're either a little bit faster or not that much, or not faster. But
oh, I guess it's still faster than intended that I do.
Is it the Cruzo like bomb flings or propulsion flings, like where you go a little bit in the portal and then just shoot one next to you?
Yeah. Yeah. Propulsion flames has one too. I forgot about that one. Yeah. There's some super reportals that are used around there. So
cool.
Yeah, but it was a good race. Only a minute difference. It's not like you got destroyed, Nevan. There was definitely potential there for you to catch up. PerOculos played quite well, especially in the latter half.
Looking at my split right now, everything's red except for chapter 6.
Oh
well.
Wish I had my splits. That would have been interesting to see.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be far ahead.
Yeah, no, it's I think you were like 2 minutes behind your PB about.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I would have been interested to see how much time I lost in just Ricochet alone.
Yeah, that would have been probably a lot. All right, well, thank you guys for racing, and we'll be seeing you guys in future matches, both of you.
Yep.
All right, see you guys. Any final remarks before we end here?
Yeah, I've got to say this, otherwise I'm gonna get bashed by the French community. Baguette. All right, that's all for me.
Alrighty. All right, see you guys.
All right, see you.